Hi, I'm Jayinplaytrader. I'm creating free video content teaching people how to trade Betfair absolutely for free. If you're enjoying my videos or you're learning from them, please support me back by hitting the subscribe button, and also don't forget to hit the like button on any videos you watch. This will enable me to create more free content for you so you can learn to become a better trader. Best of luck in the markets. Okay, this is Saturday the 13th of November 21. It's the Cheltenham November Meeting. This is the 1:05. Liquidity is not too bad. TV coverage on ITV hasn't started yet. I think that starts at 1:30 for the later races. So let's have a quick look. That'll probably, they'll probably just got it in time to show the 1:14 onwards. I think it goes on to about 4 o'clock-ish or something. So they should have most of the meeting, apart from this race, televised, which you'll see high liquidity, because if people are watching at home, people are more likely to have a bet. Anyway, this is a long old race, 3 miles, 1/3 on. I'll see if I can make some money. Might well skip one.
147 is red, is close to him. Strictly a Dancer's getting through a few of them now. Be about 7th or 8th at this stage as they take the second one down the home straight. Behind him is Minella Encore and 147 and 2 taps, and then Forza Milan. And Dawson City, the 12-year-old senior runner, becoming quite well detached now. He'd be 10 lengths behind the others who are heading out now to fence number 12. With Mind Maids up and opposites attract the leading pair there. They get over it still together. They've all cleared it. Fact of the matters behind him in 3rd position. Bermeo is next, and around the outside of this is Milanford, who might just have taken 4th. Pontracina nosebounded in 5th position in white and green. Another venture, then Strictly a Dancer and Minella Encore as they take this plain fence. Behind those 2 taps, an error, but Rasheen Lee sat with him. And then comes 147, and they're followed
taking it out because there was money behind me. I'd rather just scratch it. I wasn't sure, so
still about 10 lengths behind the others. Bermeo and opposites attract were both untidy at the water jump, and they come now to number 15. It's the 3rd of the open ditches. And opposites attract and Mind Maids up, the pair that get over it together. From Pontracina,
I'm out of here, man.
Fact of the Matter, Milanford, another venture, Strictly a Dancer, Bermeo, 147. Forza Milan trying to get back into it after an error earlier in the race. And then comes Minella Encore, and behind these is 2 taps as they run right up to the top of the hill. Now Dawson City still about 10 lengths behind the main group of runners. This is the final open ditch now, fence number 17. It is 4 from the finish. Minds Made Up in the yellow got over it in front. 2 opposites attract in the blue sleeves, the green jacket. Pontracina, Milanford the next pair. Strictly a Dancer in 5th position.
See, I'm way outside the prize. I'm just waiting to hope a spike comes down.
I'm out of here, man.
2 taps, Bermeo behind those. Milanford is the one who's weakened rapidly and turning downhill with 3 to jump. Finian Maguire, Mind Made Up, is in the yellow just in front. Opposites attract, John Berry in 2nd. Strictly a Dancer, Pontracina 3rd and 4th. They're clear. Another venture, 2 taps, Forza Milan. So behind those, and then Bermeo at the 3rd last. And getting over it, Strictly a Dancer on the left with Ben Bromley has sailed to
now we're in the red zone. Didn't make much of that race.
They approach the home turn and goes through to about a length.
There's no point getting involved now, because if the horse falls or something, if I start trading this one and it starts to come in and win, this is where I get really screwed and the market can move massively. So you don't want to be trading this part of the race when you get into the red zone here, really. I did gain a little bit, but that's only because it's a 3 mile 1/3 on race. It's longer. But yeah, putting money in now can just be a lottery, so you can get away with it sometimes, but I wouldn't recommend it. Anyway, next race, only £1.16, but we'll move on. Okay, so this is the 1:40 on Saturday the 13th of November 21. It's the Cheltenham November Meeting. 3rd time lucky. We've got a very short priced favourite in this race, which means there might not be an opportunity to get a trade through safely. What you've got to be really careful is that if you are trading one of these other runners, if that was to fall, get pulled up, then these prices are going to come crashing in, because that if you know that controls so much of the market value, then otherwise you'd be able to bet both horses to make a profit. So they'll come shooting in to what they should be very quickly as people take advantage of that. What else is there on this one? Yeah, TV coverage is now started on ITV. The liquidity is a little bit higher than the first race at the moment. The TV coverage has only just started, and I mean that might just be because there's an odds-on favourite. People tend to put a lot of money on the odds-on favourite. If you have a look, either backing or laying it, you can see there's 631,000 out of that 826 that has been matched on the favourite alone. So whether I put a trade from this, I don't know. I might not. This might just be a sit and wait game. Right, I'll get some sound on. Obviously third time luck is in front as well, so that's bringing the price in even more. Cheltenham has just fallen in the last two rides. One that I show in the other video, why you shouldn't trade that was a good jump. Why you shouldn't trade races with just two runners, because if one falls, then you're screwed. And this is quite similar, really, when you look at this to that race. It's
I'm out of here, man.
And looking at the prices so far, it's looking unlikely I'll get a trade in, because I'm not gonna put a massive liability up at above 10s, 15s or whatever, just to try and put a few ticks off, because it's just not worth it. And I'm certainly not going to be backing the favourite either, or laying the favourite at that price. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it at all.
I'm out of here, man.
Yeah, another race to avoid, unfortunately. It's a bit disappointing, because I really was looking forward to trading this Saturday, but the first two races there hasn't really been a lot on offer so far. So
sucker.
Unfortunately, I'm sitting on my hands, and it is important to know when to sit on your hands. This might make for a boring video, but it is just so important to know that you should be sitting on your hands. There's nothing I can do here right now. If I was to say put a speculative lay-in down here at 4.0, for example, hoping there might be a bounce back, but the problem is the bounce back's going to be if that horse falls. One's just fallen there, so that's out of the race, and you can see, you can see there was no point trading that at all. So I'm just going to move on to the next race at Cheltenham. Unfortunately, only £1.16 in the first race and 0 in the second. Okay, so I've switched over to Weatherby here. It's the Saturday of the November Cheltenham meeting. Liquidity is really poor. Bear in mind it is a Saturday as well, and there's only £250,000 matched. You see that during the week. I think I saw more than that on Monday this week, so on some races. So that's probably because everybody is watching Cheltenham and no one's really interested. So you can't treat these races the same as you would then. If you go in with the same stakes as what you might be able to get away with at Cheltenham, you could get burnt very quickly here. So I've reduced my stake down to 350. Whether I put a trade for or not, I don't know as yet. I might well do, I might not. It just depends on whether I feel it's safe or not at the time.
Double seeking Jordan Naylor heads now to fence number 5 and jumps it well from in second place on taking it Chehalian Munro. Return ticket wider out of Cracking Destiny just in third. Palmer's Hill is in 5th at the moment, no more than 5 or 6 lengths off the leader, who rather stood off the next fence.
Scratching it.
Northern Bound with a couple behind. Northern Bound, who's in pursuit of his 4th win on the trot, currently ahead of both Maracuja and Game of War. So they're all across the fence in front of the stands for the first time well, and Top of the Cotswolds in particular gave it plenty of air and heads down past us with a circuit left to travel. Top of the Cotswolds by a length and a half over Cracking Destiny in second, a similar gap back to in third Chehalian Munro. Then Palmer's Hill, John Joe O'Neill's only runner on the card, currently splitting rivals with Return Ticket working a little deeper out. Return Ticket, who won the Peter Beaumont Memorial Chase here last month. In behind runners is Northern Bound, and then Maracuja. Maracuja, former winner of the Castleford Chase here at Weatherby. And the back marker of the 8 remains Game of War as the field swing left-handed out towards the far side of the track, and fences 8 through to 12 coming up along this next section, with numbers 9 and 12 being the open ditches. It is Top of the Cotswolds, just beginning to open, and a half length back to Game of War, who despite being the back marker is no more than 6 or 7 lengths off the leader as they're coming around the home turn, galloping now for their final half a mile, and they have 4 more plain fences left to jump. It is top of the Cotswolds, who's been drawn
Sucker.
to watch for the bulk of this journey so far. Brings them into the home straight, a length clear to Cracking
we're
Destiny
in
in second, who's still travelling well. Shihali and Munro back through.
We're in the danger zone now. It's not worth getting involved. Close it off 38E3, and I'm moving back over to Cheltenham. I have made more money in this race than I have on the first two at Cheltenham so far, but I didn't put a trade in the second one at Cheltenham. There you go. Okay, so this is the 2:15 at Cheltenham on the November meeting. This is the Paddy Power Gold Cup. I imagine there's quite a lot of prize money involved in this. I don't know exactly what it is. You can see this is on ITV. Liquidity has shot up massively. Look, it's over 1 million already. If you look up there, which is the biggest race I've seen in a few months now. Unfortunately for me, there's a lot of runners in this race, which means they're all quite high priced, and because I use a lay-in scalping strategy, I don't really want to get in at these big prices, because if it was to go wrong, there's, you know, it's going to cost me too much in liability. So what I'm hoping is going to happen, I'm going to hang on. It's only 2 mile 4, but I'm hoping a few horses might get pulled up out the race, which will then knock a few of the other horses into sort of more tradable prices. I'm happy to go in at 6.0 around that sort of price, because it's a good crossover point, but as long as the market's right. So we just reset the ladders there. We can see there's a few approaching that at the moment, but not quite yet. Also, you can find in these races, if the horse is running good, sometimes there could be too much liquidity in terms of scalping in play, because the markets can be buttered up, kind of like they are at the moment. They are jumping around a little bit, to be fair, but they could be buttered up like that constantly. And you want them to be moving, because you don't want to put your trade in and then have it sitting waiting up here, for example, and you're just sitting waiting. You don't know what's going to happen. You want to be in and out in a second, if that makes sense, when it's going on. But I'm going to get the sound on and see if I can make some pennies within this race or not. I'm not that keen to jump in at the moment. Unfortunately, the races so far over this, there was a couple of good ones yesterday, but there's been a lot that I just haven't been able to trade, and this might be one of them. Couldn't trade the last one because there was just an odds-on, very short-priced favourite and a couple of other runners, and the short-priced favourite led, so it gave me no opportunities whatsoever that was safe. So let's hope we get a safe one in this one. Let's have a look.
On the course, the senior runner, but he's making progress towards the leaders as they come to the first of their open ditches, where Cool Cody took off miles away, but he really reached and got over it well. Nietzsche's becoming detached at the rear of the field. Zanza, Funky Dahlia also towards the back as they come to number 12, and it's still Cool Cody out in front. He's bowling along.
So looking at the race time, we've got quite a long way to go as yet. So
the black and red jacket in pursuit in second. Briny Frost on Simply the Bets is next, and then the yellow sleeves, Midnight Shadow and Ryan Mania. This is 4
disappearing and coming back.
Power Gold Cup. The final one of the open ditches.
I'm out of here, man.
Cody still has the lead. Layla was with Man of the Mountain in 5th and 6th. Azo Protectorate and Al Dancer behind those as they swing to home. Galahad Quest, Maroon and Pink trying to make a little bit of progress from the rear. Caribbean Boys behind this, and then Spirit of the Games and Dostel Phil and Zanza. And they run down now with 3 to jump, and it's still Cool Cody out in front. Paint the Dream is 2 lengths away in second. Simply the Bets and the yellow sleeves of Midnight Shadow in
try and
third
close this
and
off as
fourth,
much as
and
possible.
closing. Man of the Mountain and Layla.
I'm out of here, man.
Time left.
Maroon colours behind these as they take 3 from the finish. Protectorate and Galahad Quest were next, and then Caribbean Boy, Al Dancer and Zanza. They have the home turn coming up and 2 to jump. The nose band is Cool Cody, who is still in front. The yellow sleeve of Midnight Shadow has moved into second and beginning to close. Paint the Dream behind those in third. Simply the Bets is with this in third position as well.
Unfortunately, we're in the red zone, so it's time to quit. That's 10 quid on that one.
Still out in, he goes at the last. Cool Cody is a 4 at the second last fence, and it's left Midnight Shadow.
I'll reset the ladder so you can see what's going on.
Lengths. stumbles on landing. Simply the Bets and Protectorate have taken second and third. There's plenty coming from the back of the field as a weary Midnight Shadow is in front.
So he's still got another jump to make. That's why the price is shooting out. He's getting caught. Will he make it?
Well, this could be a very close thing. Midnight Shadow getting tired, but he got to the line in front.
Just about made it.
Market suspended.
And then Galahad Quest and Man of the Mountain and Zamta behind those, and then Spirit of the Games.
So you can see again, like where we made our money. You can see at the end there that traded right the way into 135. People thought that was going to catch up, but problem is you couldn't see where the finish line was, could you, because of the camera angle? So that might have, you know, tricked a few people into thinking they had further to go than what they actually did. I don't know. I don't know what people are thinking, to be honest with you. I'm just guessing. But so you can see timing, selections, everything. If I tried to go in one more time, a little bit later than what I did into that red, there's a good chance on that same runner. I mean, there's a good chance the price would have gone through me, and I'd been looking at a big deficit. And then as you get down here, you can't take the risk, because what you're going to do, you're going to either have to take a biggish loss, 20, 30 quid or something, or you're risking blowing your whole day's bank. And it's much better to take a £20 loss if in that situation, because if you don't, you've got to bear in mind, if it comes down to even money, there's an even chance of that horse winning or losing. So you're risking £30 against, say, 150 quid. You've got to take the 50 quid loss, because 50% of the time you'll lose 150, 50% of the time you'll lose 30 quid in the long run. So it's a no-brainer. You've got to take that loss. In the heat of the moment, you might not decide to do that though, but just always take your losses and try to get out before that business end in the first place, so you don't get caught out. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so this is the 250 Cheltenham November meeting. There's not been a lot of opportunities for me today in terms of what pricing there's been on. There's been a race where all the prices have been too big, one with a short price favourite. Not really that much. I've only pulled in 15 quid today, which is not all that great. 3 quid of that was from Weatherby as well, so not all that great so far. But in terms of prices, this looks like this could be the biggest opportunity that I've seen so far. These sort of prices much more suit my strategy, so I'm gonna see if I can pull some money in. I don't expect to really make anything till up here, because I expect the markets to be buttered up until we get a little bit further on, which they are at the moment. You see that if I put a trade in there, I've got to hope, you know, I'm waiting for it to go out. It's not moving much more quicker than what races do pre-race at the moment, and you know, in terms of how I want the markets to move, I need them to move a lot quicker, so I can get in and out for sort of 4, 5, 6, 10 ticks, whatever I'm going for, you know, in a few seconds. And you can see in this market that's not going to happen, not unless you know what's going to happen in the race, unless you're using market reading skills, horse racing skills to predict what a horse is going to do. So anyway, let's have a listen to the commentary and see what's going on, and see if we can make some cash. See if an opportunity arises.
Got to halfway and they make their way to the far side. Very little change in the order so far. Ballymilsey continues to have a lead.
So this is starting to move around here a little bit. Will it continue?
Off the rail in second, on the rail. Close
Looking at
up
other
to
runners
his
as well.
Optimised Prime in third place, and then Kansas City Chief is closer in fourth place. He's only about 3 lengths behind him now. On a Gathering Storm and Sporting John have kept each other company.
It looks like that's just bouncing around by a couple of ticks at the moment.
That together. Prashema kept wide.
Could bounce more, but it's
outside of the racecourse by Harry Skelton.
not really just yet.
Run to the far side, and then comes Sure Time. And Dorrell's Piaget is 2 to 3 lengths behind him. Still about 12, 15 lengths between all of them. 5 more flights of hurdles to take. And Ballymilsey continues.
This is just not an opportunity for me at the moment. It's just too buttered up, far too buttered up.
This next one, and then Optimised Prime with the red cap in third. Kansas City Chief, Yellow Sleeves, being joined now by Sporting John, and also On a Gathering Storm as they take this.
They're starting to bounce a little bit now as we get a bit further into it.
Top of the hill with 4 to jump only.
I'm out of here, man.
And Dorrell's Piaget are still the last couple of runners.
Still quite a way in the race to go as yet.
Going into second now is Kansas City Chief as Shannon Bridge
so this might be an opportunity. Oh, I didn't want that money going in.
Optimised Prime on the right is still in third. Sporting John going into fourth. On a Gathering Storm.
So that's what you need to do, is just pick those opportunities like that, really.
They're all going past the weakening Shannon Bridge as they turn left-handed with 3 to jump. Sure Time is next. Dorrell's Piaget is the back marker. That it's still Ballymilsey shows out in front, yet to face a serious challenge, and just lengthens up to go on by 2 lengths here. To Kansas City Chief in second.
I'm outta here, man.
If you wonder why I was sitting down like that, down the market, it's because I'm wanting to see what happens if it goes wrong.
Red with white sleeves is getting their shirt time in pink. Coming from the back of the field as they take the third last. Behind those was Optimised Prime. They head down with 2 more to jump now. Look to the left in
I'm watching that race timer. We're running out of time.
Sucker.
John in the centre, the yellow sleeves as Kansas City Chief on the right. Ballymilsey. This quartet to Proshema, who's down. Proshema, number 2, is a faller.
Cancelled that off as soon as I sit down. We're in the red zone, so that's it. It is so tempting to get greedy and just trying to whack more through, but you can see just by picking the right moments within the race, once the market goes jumpy, but before the business end, you don't want to get caught up in the business end where we are now, because this is where it is absolutely nuts on any race, and this is, you know, it's a lottery basically. It's an absolute lottery if you chuck your money in any of these, so you want to be out before that happens. And if you're staring at a loss at this point, you know, and that starts coming in and you haven't done anything about it, you're going to be looking at a scary figure, so you must not ever do that. So
Market suspended.
so far, not loads of opportunities, but on the 2 races I've had a tenner and nearly, you know, 19 quid, £19.22, so nearly 20 there. Probably about 30 quid in total of them, a couple of races. So this is the last race at Cheltenham of the day. It's a 2-mile listed National Hunt flat race. So basically it's a flat National Hunt flat race, but they've got better horses in it. That essentially basically means liquidity is a lot lower. You can see already from the other Cheltenham races, and that is because TV coverage has now stopped on ITV. So, and obviously it's a poorer quality race, so they don't show these on ITV so much. Anyway, let's see if we can make some cash.
Codename Lisa, an orange cap for Bryony Frost, is in company with Bolin Clear. Very pale jacket, a red cap for Sam Tristan Davis. Tom Cannon is next. Finest View.
You can see these markets are a hell of a lot weaker than what they were previously. I'm not prepared to use the bigger stakes I was earlier, because it's just not.
Darker sleeve jacket for Alex Edwards alongside, and then Niall Houlihan on back in for Glory in almost all white colours up round the outside. Next is Signal Point. That rider change there. Bridget Andrews now. Green and white hoops on the sleeves alongside Leading Theatre.
I have to get all the way out at 3s. I can't get out against that if it goes wrong.
In light blue is Tom Bellamy on Fire Lake, and Paddy Brandon on Bonte. Pink, blue hoop, blue cap continues to be the last of the 15 as they make their way away to the far side of the course and begin to approach the halfway point. So the lead is still with Betty's Bell.
So yeah, I hope you can see that these markets are totally different to the other markets, and you've got to treat every race differently. If you treat them all the same, you won't make a profit. You know, everyone's got to be treated totally different. This market looks like it's creeping in, so I'm cancelling that off. It would have been safe actually. Problem is, when there's only a few bets coming in, you don't really know, do you, if it's going to move in or not too much. It's tricky to tell, so you've got to be more on your guard, use smaller stakes, be more careful. Unfortunately, we've got January and February coming up where you've got to be extremely careful. There won't be much money being made in that month, so I'll tell you. And I'll be using £50 banks at most.
I'm out of here, man.
Orange colours very fractionally in second on the outside of Starlight. Where's Maud gone in company with Fairy Tree and also Mayhem Mira virtually in line. Bolin Clear and back in for Glory behind these runners as they come down the hill, and then comes Finest View.
Too much money coming in. See the quick cancel there.
The extreme left in
Defence,
the pink is Bonte, who still appears to travel strongly.
I'm out of here, man.
To pass rivals. She's coming through with Signal Point and also Leading Theatre, attempting to make progress towards them as they head then towards the home term now, and it's still
you may not even safely get any money through on this, so I don't know yet.
Market suspended.
Just home in third position to Mayhem Mia, and then Where's Maud gone?
So that's the end of Saturday at Cheltenham. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of opportunities today. I might as well just show the results now. They're pretty poor, to be fair. Bear with me, don't want you to see everything. Got some private stuff here. Right, let's get straight onto that. Okay. So you can say, if I just, oh crikey. If I just shut that down a minute. So you can see that's all I've managed to do today. Not a lot. I just haven't had the opportunities at Cheltenham. So I did a race earlier. I only made £1 in it. I was unlucky there not to get matched. My entry points weren't just quite getting matched by a tick or two on a couple of occasions. Otherwise that might have been a tenner. I've made 10 quid on this race. See, there was a race in between that there was an odds on favourite and it wasn't worth me trading. There was another race where the price was just all too big and it wasn't really worth me trading. And then there was just the 215 that I managed to get a nice profit out of because that did suit me, and also the 250. And so that's pretty disappointing for a Saturday, really. And I've picked up a few extra pence here and there. Sorry, by trading like a couple of other markets, but they were all pretty poor liquidity because everyone's looking at Cheltenham. So £38.68, and most of that is made in 2 markets at Cheltenham, and that's all I could really trade out of it. Sunday tomorrow, hopefully we'll make a bit more cash out of that. Best of luck in the markets, be lucky, wait for the right opportunities. That's where most people go wrong. Most people just try and trade all races the same. Just don't do that. Wait for your opportunities, they'll come to you. Some days you'll get loads of opportunities, some days you won't get any, but if you try to force opportunities, you'll end up forcing big losses, and that's not the aim of the game. Just sit, be patient, sit on your hands, learn to wait for the money to come to you. Best of luck, don't forget to hit like, don't forget to hit subscribe. Bye bye for now.
Introducing Geeks Toy trading software, the fastest, most customisable and most popular software for betting and trading on Betfair and BetDAC. Designed by professional traders for you. Key features include unlimited desktop settings and the ability to create custom profiles to suit every user's needs. Unbeatable speed, real-time prices and one-click betting. Unique management of multiple markets. You can bet or trade on multiple sporting events simultaneously. Support for 8 languages. Context-driven help on every window. Dutching and bookmaking, training mode, advanced charting, enhanced navigation, support for Betfair coupons, stop loss and more. Geeks Toy, possibly the best Betfair and BetDAC trading software in the world.